So it's a officially new brake day, the final and last upgrade for the Giant, and then it'll be just the frame that's original. And the brakes that I have ordered and have just arrived are some SRAM GUIDE T, I think they're called. Originally got the level T that are the 2-pot on my Keller Boss nut, and I saw these up and they were on sale for 54 quid, so I thought I'll snatch them up, and they are the 4-pot and they should be a bit of an upgrade. The reason I'm upgrading because I can't get the brake pads anymore for the Giant ones, so it's time for an upgrade. And I've got the back as well, which is fully set up. Just need to install it on the bike. And the one thing that I was missing, so I couldn't do it, was this 160 rotor adapter for the rear, because I'll show you later, but it will make more sense. So let's get to getting the bike sorted, or getting the brakes fitted, and yeah. So I'm going to start with removing both front and back brakes, then fitting the front, then the rear, because I think it should be just the easiest way, go front to back. So let's get to removing the original brakes and start the fitting of the new ones. So that's the front removed, just need to get the rear caliper undone and so I didn't expect it to be that difficult to remove the rear brake, because for some reason it was like tangled with the shifter cable. But now it's time to start installing the new brakes, and these are the SRAM GUIDE. I bought them from Bike Tie, if you're wondering where I got them for that price, and I think they're still on offer at the moment. So I'm going to hold the front brake in these tightened, wrong way. I tighten these two up so it aligns the pads with the disc. There you go. Nice and smooth. So that's the front now set up. Feels quite nice. No rubbing on the disc, which is always a good sign. Just need to get that bedded in. So now it's to move on to the back and set up the back with find one of these rear, whatever that says, rear PMS. Oh yes, it goes like that. I need to install this bracket first, and then the brake. So that means I can straighten up this cable as well. So you probably hear that I'm full of cold. I'm literally just at the end of having a cold, which that's probably the reason I actually bought these brakes, because I was laying on the sofa not feeling very good, and I was having a look at bike parts, as you do, when you're not very well, and these popped up. If you do follow me on Instagram, I did put a poll up asking, because there was a set of empty trail brakes for sale, and they were like 75 quid, but they come all the way from Italy and they would have taken like 2 weeks, and they are probably a way better brake, but I also had issues with import tax as well, which I just couldn't be bothered to deal with, so I ended up actually going with these, which I'm not too unhappy about, because I know the SRAM level T's that I've got, the 2-piston, they're quite good, and I hope these should be either just as good or better. Snap that, hold the brake really, really tight. Also, usually when I buy new brakes, I usually get new discs, but these discs aren't even that old, so there's no point of replacing the discs. And also, if anyone upgraded the disc size to like a 203 and a 180 rear, have you found it makes much of a difference? Obviously this is only an XC bike, so if you have, just put it in the comments how you're getting on, and if you prefer it or if you don't, because your opinion is always welcome on my channel. So one issue I did have though, when I ordered these, they're meant to come with these clamps, but they come with I think it's called the matchmaker clamp, which I never heard of before, but apparently it's for when you have the shifter built into the amount, if that makes any sense. So into the clamp, I put a photo up on screen, so I had to steal these off my boss nut just for a moment, because I could kind of hide them with my boss nut, but with the shifter on this, I knew it wasn't going to work, so that's the reason I've gone for that. So brakes fully set up and installed, other than need to cut down this hose, but I haven't actually got any of the kit to do it in the grub and something else, whatever it's called. So at the moment I'm going to have a long rear brake and just zip tie these two together, which is a little bit messy, but it'll do the job. And the brakes feel pretty decent just on the work stand, but I need to go out for a ride, and that'll be the next thing we do. So I will see you out on the trail. So I'm just riding a bit of gravel, or a bit of hard pack anyway. This is more my gravel route that I like to take. I did discover this in one of my earlier videos, and at the moment it's like really muddy, but we have had like 2 weeks of rain over the Christmas and the New Year, and the brakes feel alright at the moment. They're just still bedding in, and they feel quite decent actually. I'm quite surprised. The only thing I'm struggling with, I can't seem to get on with these tyres. They're meant to be a fast rolling, more in the cheaper side tyre. They're the Schwalbe Rapid Robs, but they're like the least grippiest tyre I've ever ridden. Only really good on like really light gravel on the road, and anything else they're a bit unpredictable even when you hit the brakes. Like there's no modulation even with mild brakes, like if the tyre's gonna grab or not, so it's quite a weird feeling. And at the moment I'm not sure if I'm going to stick my old Continental tyres on, because I can't seem to get a feel for them. They might be good in the summer, but I would like a quite predictable tyre, and these are hard, very, but you pull the brake and it might lock up, it might not, so you lose all your feeling of modulation, and you're worried about putting it on the side of the tyre. You feel like you might lose the front end, and it's quite hard to show, but that's how it feels at the moment. So yeah, so brakes so far feel really good. I'm getting along quite nicely with them. Bike feels pretty good at the moment, and it's like 99% done. I think the only thing left on this bike that's actually original is the frame now, which is quite weird to say. I will be getting the front brake hose cut down because it's a bit too long at the moment. So, but I need to order the pin and the grub, which I think you can buy, hopefully, or I'll take it to a bike shop. But the only thing I'm not very happy with at the moment is the tyres, but that's it. They're just not as good as I thought they were going to be. Not very grippy. So that's the one thing I'm going to change. As you can hear, I'm out of breath because I haven't ridden much at all since like Christmas, but I haven't been well. I had that awful cold, which I think everyone caught, and the weather's been absolute rubbish. As you can hear, I'm still full of cold. Now, I don't know if you can see, it looks dry, but it's really shit conditions. That's why I'm walking till I get to the main gravel path. The reason I got these brakes is because I had to change the pads on my old brakes, and I couldn't get any pads anymore, and the piston was stuck or seized, and I couldn't get any of the stuff to maintain it or sort it out. So I went for these SRAM Guide T's, which they look quite cool. The lever feels really nice. I did like the lever on my Level T, which is I think the base one of these brakes. These are more budget, or even more budget, but they were actually more expensive at the time when I went to order these. And I think this bike is almost really complete. I'm really happy with the fork, still holding air, feels nice. There's a little bit of a knock-in at the I don't know, the start. If you pull right from the start, there's when it bottoms out with full extension of the travel. But I watched Sam Pilgrim's video the other day, and he had the exact same fork, and he was complaining the same thing. but I've just turned the slowed the rebound down, and it's less apparent when riding, but you can still feel it when you do like the little jibs. But yeah, this year's gonna be a bit different content wise. I'm just gonna try and make it more GoPro-y, get out more and more riding videos, or not day in the life, but that sort of thing. Just saying, I can pick up a camera, don't have to spend no money to make these videos, just click record and show what I'm up to. I think there's a few trials I'm going to be doing anyway this year, and I'll show you some of my training sessions. As you can hear, I'm still out of breath. I've been out once this year on my Sherco, and that's been running decent now. Had a few issues with it when I first bought it, but they're all resolved. Stop a second. It's quite weird what you can notice when riding like the same place like, all the time. And at the moment you can tell there's loads of moisture in the ground because they're just riding really slow. Like the gravel just feels quite heavy to ride in, which is a strange feeling because I noticed it quite a bit on the BMX as well. I thought I'd just add that into the conversation or into the video. So this year I'm planning for like my videos, like I said earlier, to make it more GoPro-y, but a few projects I do want to get onto. I really want to paint my Calibre Boss Nut and make it into more a trail riding. So at the moment it feels very like enduro-y setup with the tyres it's got at the moment, and it's got quite an uncomfortable seat. A few little upgrades I want to make to that, and also do want to spray it. But I'm still trying to figure out what colour I want to spray it. I am thinking like a dark blue or something that is like, or maybe midnight blue, which will look really nice. But that's one thing I want to try and get on this year, get it painted. Yeah, a few other my goals for this year is like do 500 kilometres, which doesn't seem like much, but it's just a small goal. Try to reach 1,000 on YouTube and maybe 1,000 on TikTok, and let's save up for a gravel bike. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. And also check out my Instagram and TikTok, same logo or same name. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.